Next topic is Tamar Braxton, okay? She was also in headlines because she posted a cryptic message on her Instagram account a few days ago. This message, I believe it was posted on August 20th, which was Wednesday of this week. And she shared it on her Instagram story. It was a cryptic message. And the way that she shared it, she just kind of shared it and never addressed anything. Um, so this was on her story. The statement said, "I almost died Sunday. I was found in a pool of blood by my friend with a face injury. As the days go by, the worse it is," she wrote. "I fractured my nose, lost some teeth, and mobility." Now, LA Times took that quote, but the original quote, she put, "I was found in a pool of blood from my friend with a injury. As the days go by, the worse it is. I fractured my nose, lost some teeth, and mobility." And that's all she said. Oh, she also said, wrapping up that statement, this is what else she said at the end of that cryptic message on her Instagram story. "I don't even know what happened to me," right? That's what she said, right? And Tamar, this really alerted a lot of people. Um, let's see here. Now, a manager for Braxton, who began her career in R&B alongside four of her sisters, including oldest sister Toni Braxton, addressed the Braxton family values stars concerning posts in their own Instagram stories shared on Tuesday. Okay, so this was made to the public on Wednesday, but I believe she shared that Instagram post on Tuesday, or on Monday. So she shared it sometime earlier this week, okay? Because I was at work, child, so I didn't get to see the Instagram post. So my bad for that. But she did share that cryptic message earlier this week on her Instagram story. The manager, Phil Thornton, he released a statement on his Instagram story on Tuesday, and he thanked the followers for their outpouring support. And he put, "She is resting and recovering." This is quotes. "She is resting and recovering. Thanks for your prayers and well wishes." I don't know why my neck is hurting tonight. My neck is like a little off. But basically, this really alerted fans. It really, really alerted fans. Now, apparently, there were videos that came out of the weekend. It was like a weekend of Tamar hanging out in Atlanta, Georgia, around Saturday, Sunday. There were videos of her at a club in Atlanta, and this is all according to Mims. Make It Make Sense. They were at a club in Atlanta. It's a very popular club in Atlanta. And Tamar was with Funky Dineva. Funky Dineva is a really popular YouTuber, black LGBTQ, black gay YouTuber who's really, really known, really, really respected, an OG in this game. Was hanging out with Tamar. And, basically the fans were like, "What's going on with her? You know what's going on with her. You were hanging out with her." Funky Dineva made a video.
I'm talking about Tamar Braxton. I don't know what happened to the lady. We went out. What night that was? We went out. Saturday night. We went out Saturday night. We went to the roof, Chris. We ate. We had a good time. She was like, "Let's turn up for your birthday." We went down to the V12. Shouts out to Vinny and all the people at V12. That's the video y'all saw, or whatever, with us walking in, them making a whole lot of noise. We left there. We all got in the car together. The car dropped us off at Tamar house. I didn't go upstairs. I went to my car. I went and met James Knox at BJ Rooster, and I came home. The next day when I woke up, I had a text message from Tamar at 10 in the morning that said, "Can you give me Dr. Heavenly phone number?" I didn't think anything of it because people ask me for Dr. Heavenly phone number all the time, and it's typically when people have an emergency veneer situation. I did not think anything of it. People ask me for her number all the time. And then the next thing I know, folks is sending me this thing on the internet where the lady said she almost died and she was laying in a pool of blood. And I know some of y'all are going to be committed to thinking I'm lying, and y'all going to be committed to thinking I'm biased, and y'all are going to be committed to thinking I'm covering up something. And I promise you, I swear to God, on my mother, I don't know what happened. I honestly don't. I don't know what happened. And that's the God honest truth. Now I know for some of y'all that's not gonna be good enough, but you're gonna have to make it enough. I promise you, on Isaac's life, I don't know what happened. The lady ain't told me nothing. The lady just said she needed Dr. Heavenly phone number. So that's that on that. I hope we can put that to bed. I know what y'all know. I can give y'all a little more details. The lady did say, Q, I'm missing 4 teeth. And then I wrote back, I'm confused. So you just woke up and 4 of your teeth was missing, and the lady didn't respond. Okay, so I don't know what's going on with the lady mouth.
So Funky Dineva in the post, no shade to Funky, love Funky, but Funky was kind of having a laughy energy about it, kind of like a nonchalant energy about it, because Funky Dineva said, "Hey, I just started receiving texts where she was saying that her teeth fell out," and I was like, "Girl, your teeth then fell out? What's going on? Like, how did your teeth fall out?" So I don't know. Now Funky kept referring to Tamar as that lady. I don't know if that was a way to basically say we're not as close as y'all think. Like, yes, she texts me, and y'all might think we friends, but that lady ain't my friend. He kept saying that lady, and it just felt kind of dismissive. But I don't know his intention with that. I don't know if these people really be friends. In my book, I don't think any of these people really be friends. I just think they hang out with each other because they're popular or they like each other. But I don't know. I feel like when you reach a certain level, you don't really have a lot of friends. And I feel like when you hang out with other industry people, it's harder to make friends because you don't know what they want. You don't know if they want a moment from you. You don't know if they're trying to use you, especially if you're a commentator. A lot of these celebrities, they'll try to hang out with the commentators to control their own narrative if they get involved in some BS. So maybe that's what Funky thinks. Maybe Funky doesn't really look at any of the girls as friends. Who knows? But, Funky was pretty nonchalant about it and basically said, I don't know what happened, and didn't really seem to care. So now, some people were in the comments on social media, on Instagram, were just saying, oh, Tamar, like you overreact, because on Braxton Family Values, she definitely, wasn't the most liked all the time. She was really over the top, very dramatic, very much so one of the dolls, one of the girls. She would have all the gay lingo and she would do all the extras. And on Braxton Family Values, she wasn't always liked, the way that she talks to her sisters and stuff. So it kind of morphed into this thing.
Do you want to do this?
Do you? Because I don't appreciate you keep throwing out these names. That's right. What about my disrespect? All I have been is disrespectful. I've been called.
So who gets to correct her?
Wait a minute.
Where people don't take Tamar seriously, and no matter how much she says she's growing and elevating, they don't take her seriously. So this is the full statement. Once again, she put, I struggled to write this, but everyone keeps calling me, and honestly, I can't even really talk anymore. I'm so weak. I almost died Sunday. So they were at the club Saturday, okay? Or Sunday. They were at the club Saturday, Sunday, somewhere around that time. I almost died Sunday. I was found in a pool of blood from my friend with a face injury. As the days go by, the worse it is. I fractured my nose, lost some teeth and mobility. The way I look at life now is totally different. As my health, sorry, there's a pop-up here. As my health is on the mend. Hold on. Wait, where are we at? Hold on. Where are we at? As my health is on the mend, my mental journey begins. Pray for me, for real. I don't even know what happened to me. Sorry, there was like a pop-up on people.com that threw me off. And over that, she had the song. The song said "Spirit Led Me" by Clavier, that was playing in the background of the Instagram post. And she also posted Proverbs 31, which is a passage about a strong woman from the Bible. Yeah, poor Tamar. Tamar had a tour earlier this year. She did go on tour. It was a joint tour with October London, and then she also had a solo tour, a small solo tour as well. And, Tamar has been doing her TV show with her mom. They have a cooking show. Then they're also filming Braxton Family Values. So Tamar has been booked and busy. She's definitely been back out here in the streets. She was at the BET Awards over the summer doing press. So she's been working, So Tamar, my heart goes out to you, sis. I know people are dragging you saying you're dramatic. I explained to them why they think you are dramatic. You're aware of that. No shade, no shade, no disrespect. I like Tamar. I really do enjoy Tamar. I think the issue with Tamar is that it's hard for her. It's just when people see you in one light, when you're on like reality TV or something, that's why you got to be careful about what you do. Because if something goes wrong, the world will forever see you like that. It doesn't matter how much you try to say you've grown. It doesn't matter how much, no matter what happens, people just have this image of Tamar. Sorry for the light. They just have this image of Tamar that she is immature, petty, mean, catty, always in some drama, always fighting people. She definitely has had some social media fights. She had the issue with K. Michelle. She had the issue with Candy. And we still to this day don't know what her issue with Candy is. She's had issues. I think allegedly, I believe her and Toya had a little moment, and her and Monica kind of had a little moment. So I don't really know. I don't know about the Monica. I'm not 100% sure about the Monica thing, but I know that they all in Atlanta, all those girls kind of hang out or try to be friends. Long story short, Tamar, doesn't have the best track record when it comes to like getting along all the time. This is just my opinion with other girls. Hopefully I don't get dragged for that in the future or something. I don't know if anyone will watch my little humble podcast, okay? With a low budget podcast of me talking. But it's no disrespect. So yeah, Tamar, look, at the end of the day, no matter if people don't like her or not, she was found in a pool of blood. That's really serious. She is a 48-year-old woman. Okay, and so even if she was younger, it doesn't matter. What I'm saying is that she looks very good for her age. For her to be found in a pool of blood is scary. Okay, and 48 is still snatched to me. But what I'm saying is that, is it a health issue? Did she fall? Sometimes when you're in your house alone, you probably are drunk or something, and she probably fell in her house, probably fell down the stairs and passed out. What if she was in her house or condo or whatever, and she was drunk and she probably fell, she was trying to go to her bedroom, probably fell down the stairs, hit her head, landed on her face and passed out, and her friend found her, right? Maybe her friend found her and the friend probably spent the night. I don't know. Someone found her in the house, and it's just really, really sad. So I don't know what happened. I'm just speculating. What if it was a fall? What if she got roofied? What if she got drugged? A lot of people online are like, oh my God, like what if she got drugged? Like she just posted this cryptic post and disappeared. Did someone do something to her? Did she get roofied? And she says she don't remember what happened to her. It's really, really frightening. Anyways, drop down below and let me all know what you think about this Tamar topic. Okay, I just want to say we all got to keep going. Okay, I'm a little tired right now, but I've had a Diet Coke. I have my water right here. Okay, and I'm ready to do this. Okay, we're ready to do the Stark effect. But yeah, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Next topic will be Tyla. So that's the South African pop star Tyla, best known for her hit "Water." Make it sweat, make it water, make me lose my breath. Okay. Oh, child. All right. Okay. No, but Tyla, she's been going through some things. So she released an EP. It's called WWP, I believe. And that particular EP, actually, let's fact check. I don't want to get that wrong for my girl Tyla. I don't want to get that wrong for you, Miss Tyla. Let's see. Tyla EP. Yes, it's called WWP. It's a 4-song EP. Yes, I was right. Okay, WWP. It's a 4-song EP. One of the biggest records on there is called Dynamite. I really like it. It has WizKid on the record. She has another song called Is It? Then another one called Mr. Media. And I'm just naming this off the top of my head, y'all. I ain't even reading, okay? And she also has a song, I think it's called Bliss or Blissful. Yeah, Bliss. Okay, now I read that one. Now, 2 weeks ago, it was reported that her album, or this EP, only sold 3,000 copies. And she was getting all this backlash from fans. She was getting all this backlash of people coming at her for the whole South African thing, right? Because, not South African, but her identifying as colored and doing interviews and telling people how, she doesn't identify as black where she's from. Like, she understands black culture. But overseas in South Africa, they refer to themselves as colored, not black or not, you know what I mean? So I'll insert some clips about that because this is where a lot of people are really hard on Tyla, especially the black community. Here is a clip right here.
I mean, like in South Africa, my race is called colored. and it's a very stressful term to use in America because I know it's a derogatory term.
Right.
But I mean, that's what we are called in South Africa.
What does it mean to be colored versus black, or even both? Tyla is in the news again after shutting down a conversation involving her race. The South African Grammy winner was recently asked about the topic of colorism in South Africa on a US podcast. This is a complicated one, so let's break it down. Black and colored can mean different things in different places. In the US, the term colored has a problematic history linked to the segregation of African Americans. But in South Africa, colored is a term which identifies a community with mixed heritage who have cultivated their own identity. Tyla recently clarified that she has Black, Zulu, Irish, Mauritanian, and Indian heritage. So in South Africa, she's considered colored. Elsewhere, she's seen as black because of her African roots. After the interview, Tyla took to X to explain that she never denied her blackness and doesn't expect to be identified as colored outside of South Africa by anyone not comfortable doing so. She further explained that it's an and, not or situation. She's both colored in South Africa and a black woman. It can be a controversial topic for sure, but what's your take?
The fact that there's 64 million South Africans, 64 million, and not even 4,000 of y'all can buy her album. Don't sit here and be pressed and be mad because she couldn't sell in America. She couldn't sell in America because it was her damn fault. It was her label's fault. It was her management's fault. And it was y'all fault in South Africa. She was disrespectful towards Black Americans when she came into this country in America, and still wanted to use that term colored. You want to use it in South Africa, use it in South Africa. In America, it's disrespectful. And if Black Americans are saying, hey, we don't like that, it's disrespectful, that's it, that's all. Move on. Instead, no, she wanted to sit here and be weird about it. When she had the opportunity to correct herself and do the right thing, she chose not to. That is disrespectful towards Black Americans. Full stop. Full stop. Every action has a consequence, and her consequence was her EP bombing. 3.7 units sold. 3.7K units sold. With an entire major label behind you and a Grammy to your name, and you can't sell 10,000 copies your first week. With 14 million followers on TikTok, and a fan base of 60 million in South Africa, and y'all couldn't buy her crappy album. I see thousands and thousands and thousands of South Africans and Black Americans comment sections trying to hold us accountable, trying to get snarky, and trying to get smart. But did you buy her album? The best way to shut Black Americans up is to buy her shitty ass album. You didn't do that. What are we talking about? What are we talking about?
So as you can see, Tyla broke down her ethnicity. She broke down her ethnicity. She said that that's how they are referred to. Now, some people consider Tyla Indian. Some people consider her South African. Some people consider her multiracial. Let's take a look at this ethnicity, because a lot of people don't understand what ethnicity is, and they don't understand the cultural differences. And here's the thing. Tyla is received, basically in a nutshell, as I pull up her ethnicity, and race, right? It's the difference there. Basically, what's happening is the Black community don't like Tyla. Every time Tyla does a project or music, she receives a lot of criticism from the Black community, right? She makes R&B pop on piano music, right? It's a South African on piano type beat, but it still has like a R&B pop flair. She's a very attractive girl. She's young and petite and hot. She was marketed as the next Rihanna. She's repeatedly said in her, interviews and on her marketing campaigns and her rollouts that she really admires Rihanna. And the label was kind of pushing her as the new Rihanna, kind of, having her wear similar Rihanna outfits at performances and on carpets and stuff, and just really tapping in and trying to sell to the world that she is filling the shoes that Rihanna once, filled, although Rihanna is still relevant. She hasn't made music in a long time. So Rihanna is the thing where, these labels are trying to figure out how to replicate certain women in the industry. And you can kind of see some of the similarities with Tyla and Rihanna. basically with the Rihanna comparisons, with the racial identity debates, the ethnicity thing, and in my opinion, I think her being a beautiful girl who's confident, and she is just very confident and pretty. This all has made people not like her. People have said that she's arrogant. There's been this thing of people saying that she's an arrogant. This is what I've seen on the internet, not me. Okay, this is allegedly and for entertainment purposes. This is not my personal opinion. This is commentary. People have referred to her as an angry African. I've seen that on Twitter. I've heard other commentators say that about her. I'm not going to say any names. I'm not messy. But she has received a lot of backlash, right? So some are speculating that this resulted in her low album sales. I mean, it went viral everywhere. It went viral on TikTok, everywhere. So let's break down this racial identity conversation before we get into her being blacked out in the back of a car being carried out of a club in Brazil, because that's what I really want to talk about. Tyla, definitely shot. This is an article from The Hill, by the way. This article was written by Cheyenne M. Daniels from The Hill. This is a race and politics article. So let's see if Cheyenne broke this down. Okay, I hope she gets it. So Tyla Laura Sethal, a 21-year-old now, she's 23. This is an older article. She was born in Johannesburg. The article says that she is of Indian, Zulu, Mauritian, hopefully I said that right, Mauritian and Irish descent. But some South Africans were outraged when a user on X, formerly Twitter, posted a now deleted photo of her with Travis Scott and quipped it with, it was the first time they had ever seen the rapper with a black woman. So the South Africans were mad when that happened, right? So that was sort of the onset of that. But let's get into what they've been saying. Tyla is a colored woman. Tyla does not identify as black. So that's what people are saying online. One user said, so let's see. So you have biracial and multiracial groups being designated as colored. But this is a malleable designation that during the apartheid years, and shortly after was fraught with both legal and social challenges. Okay, I'm gonna say apartheid. I know some people kind of play with that word, apartheid. I'm gonna say apartheid. If I said it wrong, fact check me, drop down below and let me know. That's what users are saying. Now, Tyla went on an interview, and she did an interview. This wasn't with the Breakfast Club. It was another interview where she stated that she was colored, and that's how she identified. So this is a way better article. Okay, this was this from BBC. It says the headline is Tyla's Racial Identity, South African Singer Sparks Culture War. Written by Dene Nesta Kumpemba. Beautiful name. I love that name. So Tyla basically has sparked a culture war where black people are angry with her. South Africans are angry at black people because we don't understand this whole notion of colored. Tyla has said that she is a colored woman, okay? But the reason why this is happening is because she's trying to cross over into the American market. That's Tyla's goal, right? She's from South Africa. She went viral on TikTok. She got a Grammy for Water. She really took the world by storm. Her saying that she's colored sparked all this controversy. People are really arguing about how she identifies. Now, in America, black people, we consider African people, some of us, I can't speak for all black people because some of us are different, but I think most black people would say that they still consider African people to fall under the umbrella of being black. Now, some African people don't like to identify as black. They don't like, and I'm just being real about it. I'm not saying all African people are this way, but some African people, and I know that there's a difference. There's South African people, there's African people, there's North African people, there's Ghanaian people, there's Senegalese. It's all types, okay? Nigerian and so forth. But some of them don't like identifying as black. Some of them don't really care for American culture, black American culture. They feel that we're not cultured. That's a whole different thing. People are dragging Tyla. Now, Tyla did an interview with the Breakfast Club I believe it was 2 years ago. It was an interview she did with the Breakfast Club where when she was asked how she identified, she turned back and she looked at her publicist and she didn't want to answer. She looked at her publicist. I believe it was Charlemagne who asked her. Here's the clip right here.
School me on these debates that they be having about your identity as a South African colored person. What does that even mean?
Can we, yeah.
Oh, I like that. We keeping that in the interview too.
Oh, man.
I like when they talk from the back and say we can't. I like that. I like that. That's good. That's even better.
Next one, please.
That's even better.
Yo, stupid, yo.
So as you can see, when she was asked how she identifies, she turned back and looked at her publicist and she didn't want to answer it. That sparked even more backlash towards Tyla because they were like, why won't you just address this? Now, according to this BBC article, sorry y'all, I have a lot going on. In the US, the word, let's see. She says colored, right? But in the US, say the word basically alludes to the Jim Crow era when African Americans, us as black people, were called colored, right? In the Jim Crow era, there were segregationist laws that were instituted in the southern states to oppress black Americans after slavery was banned, okay? And back then, water fountains and bathrooms and toilets would say whites only. And black people were not able to use that, right? Then instead of saying black, they would just say colored only. So when she said colored in South Africa, she didn't intend to offend African Americans, but it did offend African Americans, aka black people, because in America that term colored is considered racially insensitive, it's considered disrespectful, it's basically a nice way of saying that you are the N-word with a hard ER, okay? That's how us as black people in America perceive that. But Africans and all them overseas, they don't know that American struggle. So there is a cultural divide. There was a cultural difference that continuously follows Tyla. So with all that being said, this is why people are speculating her music isn't doing good. But let's go ahead and let's get into what happened in Brazil. On Thursday of this week, August 21st, there was a video that circulated the internet of Tyla in Brazil. She was being carried out in the video.
Caralho, eu sou carregada. A gente pode.
So you saw in the video, she was being carried out of the club. She was being carried out of the club by a man, put her in the car. Her head was dangling, child. Her head was just hanging over. Poor thing, her head was hanging over, and it really scared a lot of fans. It scared a lot of people. It scared me looking at it, because I was like, what's going on with Miss Tyla? Like, no, not my Tyla, girl, because I like Tyla. Okay, I know a lot of people say she's ignorant and all that, but I think she has a lot of flavor. I love her record called Body featuring Becky G. I like her album. Her first album sold over 500,000 copies. That's gold in America. So she's selling, she's making money. I believe that Water has went platinum or a little bit over platinum, almost 2 times platinum or something like that. So she has the numbers. Now, this video sparked concern amongst fans. They were wondering what happened to her. And however, it's been said that she was just in the club having a good time because there were other videos that circulated the internet around her inside of this particular club in Brazil having a great time dancing, and mama was toe up and lit, like drunk boots, okay? So, allegedly. But, there were other videos circulating. Now, she hasn't outright spoken about it. And the man who was seen carrying her out of the video, people were saying initially that was her security guard. But then there's other rumors and speculations that that's actually her rumored boyfriend, Gio. So allegedly, she has a boyfriend named Gio, who has been her boyfriend for a very long time. So they're saying that this is him carrying her out of the club. Now she has not spoken about it, but she did post a subliminal. She posted on her X. I like to call it Twitter. We don't call it X over here. She posted on her Twitter account a picture of Beyonce laid out in the green dress, and Beyonce was, slumped over drunk, AKA drunk in love. She didn't have a caption on it, and she just posted that picture. Here's a picture right here. So she's kind of laughing at it, and she seems okay now. But Tyla, maybe, she's also a young girl. She's like 23 years old, running the streets, having a good time. It's okay to get lit. Sometimes you have a night where you're tore up, okay? You might have a night where you have too much to drink, okay? And you're in that car and you're slunched over, and, you could say, honey, we had a time. Okay, we had a ball that night. We was running the streets. Now I'm glad that she was with a man who she trusts. Thank God, because I'm gonna be real. When I initially saw the video, I was like, "Oh my God, did she get like drugged? Like, what's going on? Like, women got to be careful. Such a pretty girl out here in these streets of the club shaking and thing. These men roofie drinks everywhere you go. So you just have to be safe out here. So I was like, hopefully it's not a drug thing. But Mama was just toe up and she passed out. Okay, she passed out. And she, people in the comments were laughing and saying, "Oh, girl, you just had a rough night like the rest of us. Okay, you're fine." That's the Tyla news. Drop down below and let me know what you all think about this episode. And thank you for watching The Stark Effect.